attraction and pull to go towards art. But because of family or society, I've been pulled in another direction.
What would you prefer to do?
Be creative and be an artist.
In what way would you like to express that?
Well, I do on occasions.
I understand, but we're not talking about the occasions that you do. We're talking about the occasions that you don't. Yes?
I feel like there's a force that pulls me back. I feel like I'm
Yes,
fighting against this
that
huge force.
Is the beliefs that you've bought into that being an artist won't support you.
Correct. That's
I know, that's why I said it. So, why do you choose to believe that it won't support you? How can the universe not support you if it created you? Is that a logical question? Do you have a logical answer? You understand you're being supported right now, yes?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you're being supported in the negative belief that art won't support you. So you're being supported already in the negative belief, so why wouldn't it support you in the positive one?
I don't have an answer. You're right.
You understand?
I absolutely understand. And this is my dilemma because I've been taking spirituality classes.
Understanding is your dilemma?
No, let me phrase this the right way.
Yes.
I've been shifting and changing in a very positive way in the past few years because of certain dramas that happen in my life.
Oh, all right.
I know I'm moving towards the right direction.
Yes.
I believe I have broken through many of these thought processes and blames of family and other processes.
I understand.
And I'm realizing that I am the creator.
Yes.
I choose.
Yes.
And I have chosen to be here the way I have. I understand all of this.
But?
And I'm trying not to say but.
Too late.
I've been
Made you say it.
I know. I knew you would, so I mentally prepared myself for that.
Oh, all right. Thank you for your mental preparation. And so, where are you now with this?
Stuck.
Stuck? Thought
That's
you said you were moving forward.
I am, but
well, what are you stuck about? Do you want me to ask the question in a more revealing way?
Please.
What are you afraid will happen if you move forward in the way that you prefer to? Come on. What are you afraid will happen? Let it out.
Critical.
It's okay to say it.
Sure. I'm very critical of myself. I'm very critical of people judging me.
Yes.
In my art.
Yes. Who cares what they think? It's
I
art.
agree. I know all those things, and
Do
I
you?
keep telling
Not
myself.
Really. Not really. Remember, knowing is synonymous with behavior. If it's not in your behavior, you don't know it. You may have an intellectual comprehension of the concept, but you don't know it in your bones. It's not real for you. That's the issue. It's not real for you yet. You haven't completely accepted the idea of how the structure works, of how the mechanism works for you. You haven't really wrapped your mind around it yet. You haven't made it true for yourself quite yet. So, what are you afraid will happen? Really afraid will happen if you move forward with your art. Now, one caveat, of course, as we always say, if you have a belief system that really says your art will not support you, don't go there. There's no reason to force yourself to struggle if you don't believe that it can support you. But you can, at the very least, do things enough to allow it to prove to you over time that it can support you until you are comfortable enough believing that it can, that you will let go of the things you don't prefer faster and faster and faster. However, if you really prefer to know that it can support you, then all you need to do is find out what the belief is that you're holding on to that makes you afraid to let go of it, afraid to move forward. What's the worst thing you imagine will happen if you actually move forward? What do you believe will be true?
Maybe besides the money issues and all that, I've always felt like if I actually do commit 100% and find out that I'm not good.
By whose estimation?
Eventually myself. Because I think I'm most critical.
Why would you think you're not good? An artistic expression is subjective. Yes?
Correct.
It's not an objective thing. It's completely and utterly subjective. Yes, we understand many people may not resonate with it. But if it's your true expression, doesn't mean you can't improve, doesn't mean you can't change, doesn't mean you can't grow, doesn't mean you can't make a different expression once you've learned what you need to learn from the first expression. But if you never make the first expression, how are you going to learn? How are you going to grow? How are you going to change?
You're right.
I know. That's why I said it. But do you understand how that works?
Yes.
That is the way it works. You will only experience the change by actually having an experience. If you hold back from actually expressing yourself and having an experience of being an artist, you will never experience what you could experience in terms of how you could grow and expand and change in the direction that you prefer. You have to take the first step. The stepping stone isn't going to walk over and plant itself under your foot. You have to take the step. But the stepping stone will be there for you. And once you step on one, there will be another, and another, and another, and another. And you'll keep walking. And then you will be running. Yes?
Yeah, that's great.
But you have to take the first step.
I keep doing it, but
it
doesn't continue.
But
I have bursts of it.
You're not choosing to continue.
Right.
Why? What's the belief that stops you? Let me ask the question this way. What is it that allows you to take the first step? Why is that okay?
I get that urge.
You get the urge.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, why doesn't the urge allow you to take a second step? Where does the urge go?
It usually does. I do like bursts of like a month of work and then I quit for 2 years.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Unless it's not your excitement anymore, that's fine. But if it is your excitement, why do you stop? What are you afraid of? You said, well, all the money things, aside from all that, the judgment, the criticism, blah, blah, blah. But this is art. Mm-hmm. This is an expression of your true being. No one has the ability to judge how important that is for you. And you have no idea, by expressing your art, how many people you might actually be positively affecting and impacting and inspiring. Why are you holding your gift back from them? Kind of selfish, don't you think? To hold a gift back from people who might be waiting to receive what you have to give? It's not very nice. Why would you do that to them? If you're in the world, as you are, and you have a gift to give, the fact that you have the gift to give means there are people waiting to receive it. Why keep them waiting? Who cares about the ones that don't want it? That's not your audience anyway. But there is an audience. There are people waiting to receive what you have. Why are you making them wait? Do you have an answer?
I guess I don't know my self-worth as much as
exactly. And that's what we're explaining to you. You have worth by your existence. You have worth by the fact that you are inspired to express yourself because there is someone waiting for that expression. Someone who will know that is worthwhile. That's what they're waiting for. It has value to them. It will inspire them. It will help them. It will perhaps give them an insight into something they otherwise may not get if they don't see it through your expression.
Okay.
Yes?
I thought I'll go first. You'll take it easier on me, so it didn't work out that way.
No such luck.
No. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I will let you in on a secret that many people know. When we go easy on people, it's because we feel they have a long way to go. If we push, it means we see you're right at the edge and we could just push you over with a little tap. Mm-hmm. So we push because you're asking us to push, because you're that close to actually taking the step and being the person you prefer to be. So the fact that we seem to be pushing is a good sign.
That's a great thing to hear.
And that's one way to look at it. That's a positive way to look at it. And that's the way to define things in a way that work for you, instead of defining them in a way that doesn't. No matter what the experience is, yes? Because you're an artist and you get to say, this is what this means to me. You understand?
Yes.
So I am being art for you right now, that you get to decide what it means for you in the way that we're interacting with you, because this is art. We are creating art right here, right now. Mm-hmm. Yes?
Yes, I see that.
So step up to the plate.
I did.
All right. Is any of this helping you?
Absolutely.
Are you sure?
Yes. Yes.
Do you feel any different at all?
I do. I have the urge again.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Then, in the way that you understand we mean this, we would suggest that you go and give in to your urges.
Yes. Thank you.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, if you're all artists, we understand that sometimes you will paint yourself into a corner. But because you're artists, you can paint your way out again.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I have a two-part question.
One moment.
Okay.
Let everyone settle. Proceed.
Okay. And I don't want you to go easy on me.
Oh, have no fear.
Okay. My questions are about the healing arts.
Yes.
And I primarily engage in two forms.
Yes.
One is hypnotherapy.
Oh, all right. How exciting.
And another is energy healing.
Also exciting.
So with the hypnotherapy,
yes,
I've been working with people in a way where I gain a rapport where there's trust.
Yes.
And then I guide them to be more open-minded about what's possible for them.
Oh, all right.
So it feels very directed.
Yes.
With the energy healing,
yes,
I don't know where they are. I ask them not to tell me what's happening with them.
All right.
I just allow and trust the energy to do its work.
All right. Well, what's wrong with these things? Nothing.
I don't think there's anything wrong.
All right.
But I'm looking for greater depth.
Greater depth.
Well, I mean, it's been.
You're looking to express yourself in a different way, or more thoroughly in the ways that you do.
So with the hypnosis, it seems more like it's a co-creation.
It's all a co-creation, all of it.
Right.
All of it.
Right. It's their
They
condition.
can't in any way, shape, or form be affected by you unless they agree to affect themselves by matching the frequency you're giving off, whether remotely or in person. It's the same mechanism. You're just doing it in two different styles, that's all.
Okay. All right. Well, with the energy healing, I've noticed something kind of unusual.
Oh, all right. How exciting. What is that?
When they're at a distance and I'm not in the room with them, it seems like it's more effective, like somehow forcing it out of spatial proximity.
Yes.
I've observed that it also starts to violate time as well.
All right. So you are allowing time and space to be more flexible in that way. That's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, before I would do it, they would call me and say, hey, that was fantastic. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I got it. I mean, in my head, I don't tell them that I hadn't started working on them yet.
Again, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Time and space are your things to manipulate. It's part of the palette of the artist.
Okay.
Remember, to put it to you in a similar way, Many of these conversations we have with you, I haven't had them yet.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we engage with you in these conversations in whatever works for our time frame. But that doesn't mean it's the same time frame as you. Some conversations we may have already had, but we send the conversation to the time frame in your reality that makes the most sense for you. Some of these conversations we have yet to have. But again, when we have them, we send them to the time frame in your reality that makes the best sense for you. So you can learn to do this.
Right. I mean, so should I force it to
force it?
Well, people in this realm like to be receiving the healing in person.
Well, all right.
But I'm observing it. It seems that it's more effective
for you.
For me, when I'm not there.
Well, then that's up to you to determine. Again, it's not like everybody thinks the same way. There are many people that are just fine with receiving the vibration remotely.
Right, right. So,
yes?
I guess it seems like I'm looking for some creative direction with all of this.
Did that help?
So just wherever it goes is where it goes, and
where it goes is where it goes. What works for you best is what works for you best at any given moment. Okay. If you change tomorrow, you change tomorrow. Do what works best for you in the moment.
Okay.
You will have the effect you need to have because the people who are attracted to the way you're doing it will receive it in the way that they need to receive it, match the vibration, and create the effect for themselves, whether you are in proximity or not.
Okay.
You are playing with space and time. This is one of the things that becomes more malleable as you evolve, as you expand your senses. You don't necessarily have to have all the same space and time parameters that you used to. So this is what you're playing with. And if that's fun for you and works best for you, why not keep going until it tells you different?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I had something funny happen where...
Oh, all right. Do share.
I did the healing once, and then for the next 5 nights, they reported the healing over and over again. It seemed like
yes.
I folded time in some way.
Well, you acted as a trigger for them. And they understood the cycle in which they needed to receive it. So they laid it out for themselves in the way that they felt best would work for them.
Okay. So, because I only did the healing once, but then...
So what?
Okay.
What difference does that make?
Right. No, it didn't make a difference, but at the same time, it was curious how this kind of showed up.
Yes. But again, if it's reflective of the way that you prefer to express yourself, it's not curious at all. It's exactly par for the course for you. Yeah. So you can be very flexible in that way. They can experience your flexibility in a number of ways based on the way they need to experience it. Whether that means they create it over and over again for themselves, which is never exactly the same anyway, or whether they just receive it once, or whether they receive it before you sent it, or whether they receive it after you sent it. Doesn't really matter.
Right.
The idea of the cause and effect is one thing. It's not really linear.
Right.
They both exist simultaneously. And you're playing with that simultaneity. To say, well, the effect can happen before the cause, because both exist simultaneously. Yes?
Yes.
Does this help?
It helps. I was just wondering if I should continue to pursue it, or...
If you're excited to, yes. Okay. If you're not, no.
Okay.
Don't overthink it. It's not that complicated.
Okay, so there's no specific orientation that matters aside from my preference.
Correct. If it is truly your preference. So you can always be clear within yourself as to whether it is your preference or whether you're just labeling it as such and it's not for a variety of reasons. But once you're clear that it's your preference, that's the only direction to go in because that's your compass needle.
Okay.
Maybe you need to hypnotize yourself to be okay with this.
I'm okay with it.
No, all right.
It's really hard to explain to people when they ask me what I'm doing.
But that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
That's part of the fun. So what if it's challenging? It doesn't have to be hard in the sense that you have to struggle. It might be a challenge, but challenges are positive things if you define them that way, are they not?
Yeah. It's just hard to be...
I beg your pardon? It's just what?
It's challenging to reach the mass markets in this way.
Why do you need to reach a mass market if you reach the people you need to reach? Where are all these expectations coming from that you have to do it in a certain way, that there has to be a particular result in order for you to be who you need to be and to be supported in the way that you need to be supported?
Okay.
Why do you have those particular expectations that it has to be a certain way?
Right. They don't have to be there.
No.
Yep.
And paradoxically, in many cases, when you don't need them to be there, they usually show up.
Okay.
But if it's an expectation that you need them to, you're actually keeping them at bay. Because you're not paying attention to the state of being you actually need to be in, which is really the only important thing. Mm-hmm. You need to be yourself. Then whatever is reflective and representative of your true self will show up. Therefore, you will know that whatever shows up is exactly what needs to show up. Nothing more, but nothing less. And the reflections will come to whatever degree you are expanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
So when you expand, the reflections will expand in whatever way they need to. That doesn't necessarily mean it will look the way you've been taught to think it must look. But it will expand in the way that it needs to.
Right. Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
So I've recently been exploring the idea of creating art.
Yes.
And I think one of the things that really helped me was to get over that hurdle of that fear was that art as a gift is something that needs to be given without the expectation of reciprocity.
Yes. It is excitement, and you do excitement for its own sake because you have no other choice, because it is you. But there will be some degree of reciprocity if you do it without a need for there to be.
Yes, without the expectation, then I'm not attaching to whatever that reciprocity might be.
Yes, because you see, here's the real trick of this in the understanding is, while many of you think the reciprocity is representative of things going the way they ought to, in many cases, the expectation of the reciprocity is actually a limitation on what could be happening.
Yes.
Something greater could be happening than what you expect should be happening. So when you understand that if you have a should be happening, that's actually limiting you from what could be happening, you will start to drop the should and let the could happen. Yes?
Yes. The permission slip you mentioned about using the mirror,
yes.
How does that relate to the permission slip you mentioned, I think, in resonance and reflection of the mirror as a way to see your higher self and to connect with your higher self?
Well, how would you like it to be connected with your imagination?
To me, it felt very much the same, that it was just another aspect of that permission slip.
Many things are. It's just another angle, another point of view, another way to look at it, another way to reach beliefs that might be slightly different than other people's beliefs so that they can hear it in the way they need to hear it.
Sounds good. So I recently had 3 weeks of vacation where I was able to essentially pursue my art.
You only have 3 weeks of vacation?
Uh-oh.
Aren't you on vacation all the time?
Yep.
All right.
So I chose a 3-week period to focus on my art.
All right.
And create a template for how I would like my life to be. And part of that was choosing when to draw, where to do it, how to do it, what I wanted to do.
Yes. And how was that for you?
It was amazing.
Yes. So, would you like to do that more often?
Yes, and I think it gave me a sense of where I would like to be more often.
All right.
And so I went back to work.
Yes.
And what I found is that I obviously still want to explore this, so I would come up with a schedule to work or to create art either in the morning or the evening.
All right. Whenever you can.
Yes. What I'm finding, though, is that I, as the work weeks had progressed, I started losing that motivation. I didn't find myself as excited to work on the personal art.
Because?
I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out. I I feel myself almost slipping back into the
well,
life.
It's not a slipping, it's a choosing.
Yes.
So how are you using your work as an excuse to not go forward with your art?
I think because I'm creating someone else's art.
Someone else's art? In the work?
Yes.
And so
And
that is not inspiring to you, and so you're allowing the lack of inspiration there to leak into what does inspire you.
Yes.
Why? Why are you doing that? Isn't that a direction you don't want the energy to go in?
Yes, exactly. And I think I want to move away from that.
All right. Some time ago, a very wise friend of the channel said this: don't look where you don't want to go, because you'll wind up there.
Yes.
You understand?
I'm heading there very quickly.
Yes. So, what are you going to do about that? You're going to change your point of view, reverse the directional flow?
Yes, focus on the things that I want, not the things I don't want.
It's not about the wanting, though.
No?
Not so much. It's about what you need to do. We're talking about things here that are representative of your passion. And if they really are your passion, it's not about wanting to do them. It's about needing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, it's like you have no breath, no air, no food, no water. It's that important. It's that life-sustaining. You must do it. It's your only choice to survive. You understand?
Yes.
And when you are that passionate about something, it becomes self-sustaining, it becomes self-supporting, it becomes self-organizing, it becomes self-perpetuating. It becomes the thing you focus on, because there is nothing else more important, more exciting to focus on.
Yes.
It brings its own discipline, because you simply don't have any other choice. Nothing else seems to match it. Therefore, you focus on this.
I think one of the other things that fits in with this is I support my mother and brother financially.
Yes. Here comes the finance argument.
Yeah. No, I guess what I've always believed that if I follow my passion, I will be able to support myself.
Really? But not anyone else?
Well, no. And I think that's what I've never had to think of before.
So they're not part of your passion? They're not part of your definition of excitement, supporting you? Why would you have a definition of excitement that leaves out the people that you're excited to support? That's not a definition of excitement, is it?
No.
It's another definition. I have a definition of excitement that says I will be supported but no one else. That's not a definition of your excitement. It's something else. The true definition of excitement is that it will support everything that's truly relevant for you to support, if that's what really needs to happen.
Yes. I think I was questioning whether they also needed to, I guess, find their excitement. And
that may be true. That's why I said if that needs to happen.
Yes.
Because if it is important that they should find their excitement and be self-supporting, then the circumstances will bring that about as well. Nevertheless, just in general principles, your excitement will be able to support anything that it's actually relevant for you to support. But if that doesn't come when you know you are following your excitement, then that's your first clue that they may need the lesson where they need to learn to support themselves through their own excitement. So it will always show you, if you know you're in that state, it will always show you what is relevant to that state and what is not. Very clearly. By either having what you need there to do that or not having what you need there to do that. And that being what needs to happen. Does that make sense?
Yes. I think so. I'm trying to process as you talk, and
all right.
So yes.
Well, you don't have to do it right away.
No.
You can go off and think about it if you wish.
I'm definitely going to do that.
Oh, all right.
And one other thing.
Yes.
Is my work environment contributing to my lymph node swelling?
Well, if you're putting yourself in a stressful environment you don't want to be in, what do you think?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go with the flow and your body will flow. Yes?
Yes.
Stop resisting your
Yes.
natural self. Does that help?
It does.
All right.
Thank you, Bashar.
You are welcome.
Hi, Bashar.
And a you good day.
So, I just recently got back from Maui, and I had a beautiful and also kind of crazy experience.
We like crazy.
It was crazy. So I've kind of crash landed back into California, and
Oh, did you hurt yourself?
no, as a matter of fact, it's been the opposite. I
Oh,
have
all right.
accelerated greatly into a life that I have wanted to live for a long time, and
All right. Congratulations.
thank you. So
Yes.
I had a dream
Yes.
about a week ago I just got a new place, and it's exactly what I need it to be for
All right.
the time of my life right now. And I had a dream that I was sleeping,
Yes.
and I woke up, and
Yes.
there was a black cat
Yes.
in the corner of the room, and it was staring at me.
Yes. They do that quite often.
They do, yes. And I'm a humongous cat lover. But when I
You
looked,
are a humongous lover of cats or a lover of humongous cats?
maybe both.
Oh, all right.
So when I looked at this cat, though, it gave me immense fear. It was terrifying to look at this cat, and it
How
actually
exciting.
it
Here, kitty, kitty.
so
Yes.
this cat spoke to me and said, "Do not look at me. If you look at me, I will attack you."
Yes.
And so
What did we just say? Don't look where you don't want to go.
very interesting.
Yes, it is. Synchronicity abounds. Cats live on synchronicity.
Okay. So so I looked away,
All right.
and it started to say mean things, really.
Oh, mean kitty.
It was mean. It was saying mean things about me and my family and my friends and my life. And so there was one point where I looked at it and I said, "Hey." And right as I did, it attacked me. And that fear
Yes.
startled me enough to wake me up.
Oh, all right. How exciting for you.
Very exciting.
Would you rather process these things in your physical life instead of in your dreams?
That's exactly what I would like. I just wanted to know what kind.
So Kitty did you a favor by doing it there.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes?
Uh-huh.
All right. So helped you get that out of your system, or did it? Or did it reveal to you something that's there that you're not willing to look at?
Well, that I think is more so what it is. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not sure exactly what the message is that it was trying to tell me.
Well, what does the black cat represent to you? Because it's another reflection of you in the dream. So what's it reflecting to you about yourself? What does it represent? What does it symbolize for you?
Well, like I said, I like cats a lot.
I understand. Yet you felt fear with the black cat. Does it represent the unknown? What does it represent to you?
It could be the unknown.
Is it representative of judgment? Is it representative of frailty? What does it represent to you?
Maybe doubt.
Self-doubt? Are you guessing?
Yes. Yes.
You're guessing?
That was what had come to me.
All right. So what is it that you choose to doubt about yourself, which is simply another way of saying that you trust something negative to be true? Because you're always using your trust. Doubt is not a lack of trust, remember? It's a trust in something that is out of alignment with what you prefer.
Indeed.
So what are you trusting in that's out of alignment with what you prefer? What belief are you trusting in that's out of alignment? What negative belief are you trusting in about yourself?
I would imagine it has to do with finances.
There's that again.
Yes, there's that again. I live in this great space, and since moving back from Maui, I've decided that I really don't want to get back into a lifestyle of working a 9-to-5 job 5 days a week.
All right. Well, what is your take on the idea that abundance can come in different forms and it will support you how it needs to?
That is something I have been focusing greatly on, and so I have let go.
Well, when you say focusing on it, that means you don't quite buy it yet?
Maybe, I suppose that could be true, yes.
All right. Well, look at the nomenclature. You're worried about finances because you haven't bought the correct belief yet. Why don't you buy the belief that works for you? And then abundance in whatever form, including finances, will be able to flow more readily to you. Yes?
Yes, that's...
Because what you're saying is, until you buy into something that works for you, you are afraid that you will experience, wait for it, a catastrophe.
That was very good. Okay.
No, I'm just enough. Is this making some sense?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Is this helping?
It helps me greatly, yes.
All right.
Darryl, say good day to you. This day of your time, how are you all? All right. Thank you. First of all, allow us to thank each and every one of you individually and all of you together collectively for the co-creation of this interaction. Each and every time you allow such an interaction to occur between our civilization and yours, it is a gift for us to experience through you that many more ways that creation has of expressing itself. And so we thank you for expanding our understanding of all the different ways that the infinite does exist. In return for that gift, we now would like to begin this transmission with the idea that we have called no comparison. Let us begin. This is fundamentally an idea about your uniqueness. But even though many of you may empirically understand that you are unique, still in many of our conversations with a lot of you, we hear over and over and over again the idea that many of you discount yourselves, discount your worth, that you wind up comparing yourselves to others and falling short in your own eyes. We would like to now examine a little bit more deeply, a little bit more clearly, this whole idea of comparing yourselves to these ideals, and in your own estimation, perhaps sometimes coming up short, feeling inadequate. This all, of course, has to do with the issues of self-worth and the belief systems that you were taught growing up in your reality that may still be in effect in your unconscious mind and allowing you not to allow yourself to realize your full potential, allowing yourself to not follow your highest excitement, your highest passion. The idea of comparing yourself to someone else in many cases really doesn't work, and we would like to explain why. Many of you may feel, may believe, may perceive that you have a high degree of similarity to other people, and you may view other people who may be living lives that are at least in some way, shape, or form similar to the kind of lives, the kind of dreams that you say you would prefer to live in your own reality, but sometimes find that you simply don't quite know exactly how to attract that, how to manifest that. But many times when you make those kinds of comparisons between yourselves and others, you're actually thinking, you're actually having a belief system that a comparison can be made. When in fact, not only do you really have no business comparing yourself to anyone else, you actually don't really have any capability of comparing yourself to anyone else. Now, we understand that you may think that many of you are very similar, that you are all, after all, human beings on earth, and that you have a high degree of similar things that many of you do. And so because of those similarities, you fall into the assumption, you fall into the belief, you fall into the definition that other things ought to be similar too, that what works for them can work for you. And in a sense, that is true, but only in the broadest sense, only in the most general sense is that actually in any way, shape, or form accurate. Many of you think that when you compare yourselves to other people, you are comparing apples to apples. Understand, it is truly actually much more like comparing apples to kumquats. You are really not as similar as you think for the following reason. Anything that you perceive to be a similarity between you is, like anything that you experience in a collective reality, created by agreement. You have to agree to be similar to someone else in any way, shape, or form. And what that should tell you is that fundamentally, you're not similar at all unless you agree to be. So the idea is that even though you may experience what appears to be a lot of similarity to someone else, you really are not similar at all unless you set up the parameters for that similarity by agreeing to play the game of being similar. But at the same time, you also recognize that you have differences. And the idea is that you are more different than you think. And really, it is by validating, totally validating the differences between you that you actually will create a sense of harmony, a sense of similar vibration. That's the paradox. By allowing full validation of the differences, do you actually create a similar vibration with others who are also validating their own uniqueness? So the idea really is that when you start to compare yourself to someone else, and if you're doing it in a negative way and find yourself coming up short, they can do this and I can't. Why are they so much better than me? Why am I lacking in this? Why am I not able to do what they're able to do? Really, it should come down to the fundamental understanding that you are nothing like them and they are nothing like you, except where you agree to appear to be similar. And it is only an appearance. Now, of course, we are talking about the idea of your personality construct. Obviously, on higher planes and higher dimensions, the idea is that everything is one. Everything is an extension of the same one source. And in that context, yes, you are the same one thing, seen, viewed, experienced from a multitude, an infinite multitude of different perspectives. But those different perspectives are truly unique. And when you agree to play the game of being in a similar reality with someone else, being in a collective reality experience, you are taking that uniqueness and you are defining it and filtering it and tailoring it and molding it in a very specific way with your unique take on what being similar means. So even when you create the idea of similarity, you are creating similarity from a different and unique perspective. Your similarity is not the same as anyone else's game of being similar to someone else. So you are always unique, you are always different, and thus then different enough. Even though you may create the illusion of similarity, you are different enough that you have not only no business comparing yourself to anyone else, you actually have no ability to compare yourself to anyone else, because everyone else is truly at that level completely and utterly unique, completely and utterly different. And even when you create the effect of similarity, you are doing it from a unique perspective that is absolutely unlike anyone else's ability to do that. So the next time you feel the urge to compare yourself to someone else and find yourself coming up short, find yourself lacking, I would strongly suggest that you realize how unique you are, how different you are, how truly you are a particular perspective of the infinite, and that there is absolutely no other point of view that in any way, shape, or form is like your point of view. You are the eyes, all of you, all of us, every being in creation are all the eyes of creation and all the different ways that creation has of perceiving and experiencing itself. Cherish your uniqueness. Do not in any way, shape, or form invalidate it, devalue it. It is by your very uniqueness that all that is capable of being all that is. If you exist in your unique form, then all that is must know that your unique properties must exist in order for all that is to actually experience itself as all it can be. And thus, without you, all that is would not be complete. Without you, all that is would be finite. Without you, all that is would collapse under its own weight. All that is must, by definition, be infinite. And if you are part of that infinite existence, then there is a reason you exist, because all that is does not make superfluous creations, does not make mistakes, and does not say, well, I'm done, but I'll just create a little more off to the side here. Just because you never know. I don't know, I might need a spare or something. All that is does not operate that way. All that is whole, unto itself, one idea. Even though it is composed of an infinite number of parts, an infinite number of perspectives, it is fundamentally, first and foremost, one whole, complete experience unto itself, and every single component that it expresses itself in is a part of that unique experience, a part of that whole experience, and must by definition exist in order for all that is to be what it is, or it could not be all that is. It would simply have another name. It would be some of what could be. And that is all that it would be. Always wandering around, wondering if it could be more. But because you exist, you deserve to exist. Because believe me, if all that is did not need your unique properties in order for it to be all that it could be, all that it is, you would not exist. So if you exist, then all that is knows that you must exist. There is a reason that you exist. You are valid in its eyes, or you wouldn't exist. So the next time you question your worth, the next time you question your validity, the next time you question your differences, realize that when you question those things, you are arguing with all that is. You are saying, I don't deserve to be who and what I am. But obviously you do, or you wouldn't exist. So if you are arguing that you shouldn't exist, you are arguing with all that is and saying that it doesn't know what it's doing in creating you. Stop arguing with creation. You exist, and there's nothing you can do about it. Ever. If you exist, it's the only fundamental quality you actually have. That is your true core quality. Existence itself. That which exists cannot become that which does not exist. That's a completely different quality. And non-existence is already full of all the things that will never exist. There is no room in non-existence for the things that do exist. It is full of non-existence. And besides which, if you really look at the clear definition of non-existence, you will simply realize there's no such thing. Non-existence doesn't exist. That's its fundamental quality, to not exist. Therefore, there is nothing else but existence. And if you exist, you are a part of the infinite. There's no outside to it, you're within it. There is nothing else, and everything that you call a separate thing, including yourself, must then, because there is nothing else but the one, be made of the one, be made from the one, because there's nothing else to make anything with. All that is truly all that is. And therefore, there is no outside. There's nothing extra. There is nowhere to get any extra material from to make anything. All that is has to make everything out of itself. Thus, then, you are made literally of God, made literally of creation, made literally of existence. Thus, then, value yourself in the way that all that is values you. Now, of course, you don't have to. And many of you are very experienced at devaluing yourself. But that is also a valid experience within creation, a unique one, a valid one. So if you're going to devalue yourself, at least realize that the only way you can actually possibly have an experience of devaluing yourself is that all that is believes you are valuable enough to have any experience you want. So the very fact that that you're able to devalue yourself means you're valuable. That's the paradox. The very fact that you exist means that you have the unconditional support of all that is, and if you wish to believe you do not have unconditional support, that is your right. But the only reason you can even have the experience of pretending that you don't have unconditional support is if in fact you do. Because you are being unconditionally supported in your fantasy of not being supported unconditionally. That's the paradox. So allow yourselves to begin to relax this idea that you don't measure up, that you would compare yourself to someone else and find yourself falling short. No one else is like you. No one else can be like you. And you can be like no one else. Try. You will never, ever, ever be anything but you. No matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you wish you could be someone else, you will never be anyone but you. However, that's exactly what gives you your key to freedom. Because then you can be whatever it is you truly wish to be in exactly the way you prefer to be. And no one else can tell you different, because no one else is you. And no one else knows what it is to be you, just as you don't know what it is to be anyone else. Cherish your unique perspective, cherish your differences, and when each and every one of you allows your differences to be compatible, when each and every one of you allows your differences to be valid and valued, when you truly empower your differences, you will have absolute harmony in your reality. That's how it's created. Harmony is not created through the idea of becoming homogeneous. It is created through the absolute validation of all the differences that you exhibit, because then each of you is taking ownership of the unique puzzle piece that you are in the big picture. If you had a picture puzzle and you wanted to put it together and one of the pieces says, no, I don't want to be that shape, I want to be some other shape. Well, then you would always have a hole in that big picture and that piece would never fit. So the picture would never be whole, and the whole picture thus would never be able to support all of the pieces, and the pieces would never be able to support the whole picture. But if you simply allow yourself to be the shape you are, the shape that nature knows you need to be, the shape that creation created you to be, then by definition, you must fit perfectly in the big picture, just as you are. If that was not the case, you would be a different you. You would be a different shape. Whatever shape you are is the shape you need to be, and is the shape that fits with all the other shapes who are also willing to be the shapes that they are. So when you are all the shapes you actually were created to be, you all fit together perfectly in the puzzle picture, and the whole picture thus then exists. You can see what the big picture is from your unique perspective, and you can allow the whole picture to support the unification, the connection between all the pieces. Does that make sense? All right. So once again, and finally, I would suggest that you give up trying to compare yourself to anyone and anything, and just understand that even though someone may act as an inspiration for you, even though they may in some way, shape, or form be creating with their uniqueness, with their differences, something that is similar to what you prefer, something that is somewhat representative, somewhat symbolic of the thing that represents your ideal scenario, your ideal life, your ideal situation, it is only just that, symbolic. It is not identical and never will be. You will find your way of representing that idea in your unique manifestation through your unique perspective with your unique energy. And it will always be uniquely different than anyone else's, no matter how similar you may think it appears. It is only that way by agreement, and thus only by agreement do you experience the idea you call similarity in your reality. Because you are all completely unique. You are all apples and oranges and bananas and watermelons and kumquats and berries and all sorts of other things that are nothing like each other, but you've all come together to play a game of similarities and differences in a balanced way to experience the unique perspective of the physical reality you call the game of Earth, and the discovery of your uniqueness through the playing of that game, by giving yourselves incentives, by seeing, by creating apparent similarities to lure you into what is possible, to symbolize what is possible, to represent an idea and a concept of what is possible for you, but not in any way, shape, or form are those symbols that lure you, those symbols that excite you, not in any way, shape, or form are they designed to make you feel less than or incapable of. Because if you can perceive it, you can be it. Remember, you cannot perceive what you are not the vibration of. So if you can perceive something that is even remotely representative and symbolic of something that represents your ideal scenario, then that means that vibration is in you in a unique way, and it is up to you, by acting on your highest passion, by acting on your highest joy, by being who you truly are and allowing your core vibration to shine forth, it is up to you to manifest the unique, particular expression of that idea, and in so doing, enhance the totality of the experiences that all that is having of itself, by thus then being the fully manifested facet of the multidimensional crystal of creation that you were uniquely created to be. Are now, and always shall be, because you exist, and thus you always have, and thus you always will, in some form or another. Does that make sense? Yes. All right. Then as you let your uniqueness sink in, let us explore the unique ideas, the unique perspectives that you would like to discuss this day of your time, and in return for the gift that you are giving our civilization in allowing us to interact with each and every one of you in this manner, I ask you now, in what way may we be of service to you through your dialogues, questions, and answers?
In being all well and good that you provide whatever help you can and assistance you can, where you can, that being said, will you be all right if you discover that there's nothing you can do?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I have no choice.
Can you, if you find that there is nothing you can do, if the individual is not willing to open up to different ways in which they can know they are an empowered being, we assume you're sharing these kinds of informational bits with them to the best of your ability, but if they can't open up to that concept that they are an empowered being, then you have to know that even though they think that of themselves or feel that of themselves, that if you look deeper, you will know they are an indestructible soul. And that what they are experiencing now is only going to be an infinitesimal part of the greater journey that that being is on. And that you don't have to view them as disempowered, because they are empowering themselves to experience disempowerment. Do you understand?
Yes.
It doesn't mean they cannot choose something else, but if they don't, being in a positive place within yourself when there is nothing else you can do to help someone is actually the most help you can give them, because you are seeing them as an indestructible soul. that will ultimately be just fine, no matter what they're going through now. So you can come from a higher level of compassion in that way that will actually give them the best vibration possible to match, even if they don't choose to match it. But you have to arrive within yourself at a point where you recognize that there may not be anything else that you can do, that you have done your best. Yes?
Yes.
And please understand that even if it seems like there's nothing else you can do for them, what it is the situation and circumstance has allowed you to do may actually be for the purpose of giving that to someone else for whom it will work. And they may have trained you by their refusal to be helped to actually give you the ability to help someone else, because they might be willing to change. And you will have developed the tools and the techniques and the conversations with this person who may not change in the way that you may require those tools and techniques and conversations for another person who will. And that brings you to the understanding that even this may be an orchestration for other people you have yet to meet. Is this making some sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Can it help you relax into the circumstance a little bit more easily?
I think it will. I think it allows me to realize I can't do anything else than what I'm doing, and I have to let go and let God. And
in a sense, you have to surrender to the control that's already there, that you already have, and not try to control it, but surrender to the control you already have. Yes?
Yes.
Does this help you?
It does. Thank you. And I just have one last question. Can you tell me how Adam, Ariel, and Adrian are doing?
They're doing fine, and that's all you're going to get right now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bashar and Willa.
Thank you. And she says you're welcome as well.
Hello, Tadeo.
I sensed you coming, Nania.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. Do we have time for a few questions from Ustream listeners?
We do.
Okay. The first one is, you mentioned that there are other ships besides your own position above Sedona around the Earth.
Yes.
So where are the others located, and what is their purpose?
Again, like us, they are helping to adjust energy waves in certain vortices around your planet to aid and assist in easing the transformation and transitions that you are going through at this time, if you are willing to tap into the vibrational energy that we are flowing into those vortices, the grid of energy around your planet, to help balance out the transformational energy. Not only above Sedona, but above what you call Shasta, above what you call Haleakala, above what you call Fujiyama, above what you call Kilimanjaro, above what you call Everest, above what you call Chimborazo, above what you call many different areas on your planet. Yucatan, Glastonbury, Ayers Rock, one is directly above the Taj Mahal. One is above Crete. One is directly above the Eiffel Tower. One is directly above the White House. One is directly above the Kremlin. One is directly above Cairo. One is directly above the North Pole. One is directly above the South Pole. One is directly above the center of Mongolia. One is directly above Beijing. One is directly above Mexico City. One is directly above La Paz. One is directly above Black Rock. You call this the carved heads. You call it Mount Rushmore, but it is Black Rock. These are the ones of my society. There are hundreds more from other civilizations.
What other civilizations?
Some Pleiadian, some Sirius energy, some Yael, some other civilizations we will not go into at this time.
What is the race of our hybrid children called?
They are still deciding if they should have a name. For now, they are simply your children.
Do the children connect with the beings that are in the positions you're describing?
Sometimes, some of them, not all.
What would be the purpose of that connection for them?
The purpose would be germane to each child.
Right. Like what kinds of beneficial experiences?
If they wish to feel the vibration of a certain vortex on the earth to gain familiarity with the energy of the area that they might ultimately land in and live in, or at least visit, or practice in, acclimating to your society in.
Similar to us going and visiting a foreign land and being imbued with the vibration of that location?
Yes.
And so is there a way that we can act as conduits for the children to see through our eyes?
You can by being in those locational vortices and thinking of them and opening up to their arrival.
Yeah, and we can engage with them in playful ways.
Yes. It is up to you to use your imaginations in this and your permission slips.
But always wondered about that, like other beings, do they sometimes look through our eyes, especially if we're having...
In a manner of speaking. In other words, they match certain frequencies that give them the same perspectives that you have. That's what looking through your eyes means. It doesn't mean they're literally in your head looking through your physical eyes.
Yeah, it's more like if you come to a scene and something is so incredibly beautiful and you just want all of creation, I guess, to enjoy this amazing
and
thing
those that wish
seeing.
to tap into that vibration will, and they will have a similar perspective and a similar experience, of course, in their own terms.
I get the feeling it's almost like that's a natural component of creation.
It is.
That there are others that will enjoy the scene too, either, but it's not like they tap into your mind. I mean, how does it work?
They match your frequency.
And then they're seeing
then they have their own
same
version of the
thing
experience.
that you're seeing.
Well, not identical, but their
yeah.
own version.
Right.
It can be sometimes so similar you can't tell the difference, but sometimes it can be very different. But it's the experience they need to have of that.
Because basically it's a frequency of information that's coming to the person in a sense.
Yes.
And the other person
Because
will
everything
see.
is information.
Right. So the other person's mind will create a version of it, just like in a dream, where
Yes.
we translate experiences we're having on another level
Yes.
into symbols that we can understand here, but it's not a
Yes.
one-on-one necessarily.
Correct.
So, and that's very connecting to realize that when you're in a state where you're perceiving amazing, unique, beautiful things about Earth, that there are others that can share in that. And
Yes. And the children wish to remind all of you that everything is a symbol.
would you care to elaborate on that? You mean everything is, yes.
Everything
yes.
is a symbol.
Because it's all just energy.
A reflection.
Yeah.
That's all. Everything is a symbol.
And that's why we're responsible for the dream that we're dreaming, right?
And symbols are a language. If you understand that everything is a symbol, you will understand how to speak the universal language.
But it's always about how you interpret the symbol that you're looking at.
Of course. But there is a universal component to it. That is the same for everyone, everywhere, every when.
Like?
It is the core vibration of all that is. That is always at the center of every symbol. And when you understand how to read the symbols that are your own reflections, you will understand how to tap into the universal language. And the universal language is the vibration that you call unconditional love.
Oh. Huh.
It is actually a language. It is a vibrational language. You can learn to actually speak it, in a sense. You can learn to express the universal language.
Just by understanding the symbols that you create in your reality and how to relate to them.
Yes, and tapping into the core of each symbol, which is the source.
Okay. The primary frequency of existence.
Yes.
So how that would relate to like seeing something beautiful and unique, that would put you in a high vibrational state when you're having that experience.
Yes,
and
but
then,
it doesn't put you in the state. You choose the state.
Because of the way you're interpreting.
So that you can have the experience. Remember, it's the other way around. You have to be in the state to have the experience. I know that in your linear reality, sometimes it looks like the thing itself puts you in the state, but it doesn't really. You have to be in the state. You have to choose the state to have the experience, which can then reinforce the state, in a sense, by reflectivity. But you actually have to be in the state to have the experience. And it is that understanding that will transform and revolutionize your reality.
So the idea that we're kind of wired for a certain kind of beauty, they did that kind of research where they saw that the human brain responds to certain kinds of patterns in a way that is experienced as perceiving beauty.
Yes, and that's just the beginning. You have just touched the surface of that.
So in terms
of... You have no idea how deep the beauty goes yet.
Because we're limited in how deeply we feel the connection with ourselves.
There is a saying that exists on your planet among some of your early physicists that went something like this with respect to the discipline known as quantum mechanics. The saying, to paraphrase, goes like this. If when you study quantum mechanics, if you are not utterly stunned and boggled, you didn't understand it. So the idea here is, and again, it doesn't always have to be expressed exactly literally this way, but you'll get the idea as a metaphor, at least. If you tap into the inexpressible love and beauty of creation, you would simply fall to your knees and burst out crying and laughing simultaneously. And that's when you know you get it. Because everything that you think is real will collapse into that moment, and you will finally understand what reality really is. How's that sound?
That sounds really good. I was just realizing that even if people have had that experience momentarily, let's say, that they may diminish it later by going, oh, it doesn't last, or, whatever. But what you're actually saying is that is the frequency, and there's nothing worth more than experiencing that frequency.
And it always lasts in different forms because everything is made out of source. So even if it appears not to last, it is still lasting, but in a different form.
Right.
And again, when you wrap your mind around that and truly understand it and know it to be true, that's when you have the experience of allowing yourself to consciously orchestrate the way you use it and recognize it in all of its forms. Yes?
Yes, that's a much more positive way to interpret these kinds of ecstatic, amazing experiences, to really be able to fully appreciate what you've been given.
Yes. It seems that you are approaching the timing for your holotope experience.
It does seem like that, doesn't it?
It does. Therefore, we will allow you to take a short break, after which Willow will take you through your holotope meditation for planting the seed of the 5 levels of mastery. Enjoy a short break. How's it going?
Yeah.
All right, let us say we will continue the transmission in the following way. But before we facilitate Willa for the meditation, we would like to expand a little bit on the transmission that she will be delivering tomorrow of your time, called the Winter Spirit. Because this idea will not only delve into the concept of nature spirits in general, but also specifically that there is a literal winter spirit, an elemental being that she will go into and describe to point out to you that that being historically is the beginning of what you understand for your Christmas season to be Santa Claus. So she will give you the history of this and how it evolved in the way that it has in your society, and explain to you the relationship that exists 700 of your years in the future to that being at that time. For it is very different than what you now experience during your holiday season. We will then now allow for the shift and the facilitation. Enjoy your meditation. Are y'all having a good time then?
I want to say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? We would like to begin this interaction this day of your time by pointing out very strongly to you, once again, from a slightly different direction, the idea now of what you call the acceleration going on all around you, which is really the acceleration going on within you. And that now you will see more and more and more of the symptoms, shall we say, of this acceleration of your energy, this evolution of your energy, this evolution of your consciousness upon your planet through the kinds of symptomologies in your physical reality, such as what you call synchronicity, which is another term for what you call coincidence. But by removing the concept of it being accidental, you understand that everything in life is an orchestration. Everything is the result of a choice that your consciousness makes, and every choice your consciousness makes has an impact, a profound impact upon everything that occurs in your physiological reality. Synchronicity, being in the right place at the right time, seeing exactly, hearing exactly, meeting exactly the right people when you need to, the right thing when you need to, the right phrase at the right time, exactly when you need it to. Knowing that something is going to happen and then seeing it manifest. All those ideas of the increase of sensitivity of your senses to other energies, to the timing of things, to the orchestration of life. These are the things that you now will find happening more and more and more on a daily basis in your reality as you become more accelerated, as your energy becomes more heightened and more in alignment, more synchronized with the higher energies of the dimensions toward which you are evolving. You are now being able to draw consciously, no longer so much subconsciously or unconsciously, but more and more consciously upon these energies, upon these knowingnesses, so that rather than just ascribing these ideas of knowingness to your dream life, to your imagination, now they are beginning to leak, shall we say, into your day-to-day physical experience, so that you are becoming more psychic, more prescient, more telepathic, and being able now to see all around you more examples of the appropriate and perfect timing of just being in the right place, as we said, just meeting exactly who you need to meet, when you need to meet them, so on and so forth. And your life begins to become an ecstatic explosion of synchronicity, one moment after the next, unfolding magically, miraculously, as you may use those terms. But you must understand something very important. What you have for thousands of years in your language called miracles and magic is really the way life naturally works when you allow it to. When you get out of your own way, so to speak, when you stop attempting to impose the idea of control over how life unfolds, then you will see that miracles are the natural order of the day, that life can come together in spontaneous creation, providing exactly what you need, exactly when you need it, and not a moment before, but not a moment later either. Let your life work that way by starting to get more practice of getting into the flow of the idea that your life already works. You don't have to make it work, it already works flawlessly, because each and every one of you were created in the image, as you say, of the infinite creator. You are a co-creator, and everything you think, every choice you make, every idea you have spontaneously generates a result in your physiological reality. Because physical reality is not something you dwell within. Physical reality is an extension of your consciousness, a projection of your consciousness, a mirror that reflects the strongest definitions, the strongest beliefs that you have been taught to think are true, that you have been taught to think are the most likely things that are possible to be experienced in your reality. So when you change your thoughts, you change your definitions, and you allow yourself, you grant yourself the permission to know that life can be miraculous as the natural order of things, then bit by bit you will see your life become so. It will unfold more effortlessly, more magically, more creatively, and you will know that you are at the core, at the center, at the seed of all those things, that life doesn't happen to you, it happens through you. And bit by bit you will get a better sense of that, and you will know that control is really letting go, because if life already works, you have but to simply see a vision and act according to that vision, and with absolute conviction and certainty know that if you are at one with that vibrational vision, then life will just unfold naturally in that way. You don't have to wrestle your life into position. You have for thousands of years been taught that this must be so, and look where it has gotten you. You have lives of struggle and pain and suffering and dis-ease, and you are very, 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 very tired. And so it is time to let go and allow yourselves to know you're already in control, just because you are made as an aspect of creation, and everything you do is natural to you. It is second nature for you to create. It's just that you have been out of touch with the fact that you are doing the creating of the things you experience in your life. Once you get back in touch with the knowledge that all the things that happen in your physiological reality are because of the definitional beliefs you have within you about what you think is possible, you can change those definitions and see your reality change in accordance to that shift within your concept. It really is fundamentally that simple. Now, we understand that because of many of the belief systems you've already had ingrained within you for countless generations, it may not at first seem that simple to change your reality immediately as you would desire to. But really it is that fundamental, and once you get a handle on it, especially now in this day and age on your planet, this transformational age where you're exploring expansions of consciousness, you will see in short order, I guarantee you, that by applying these new recognitions, these new definitions, this new awareness of yourself as being the creator of your reality, if you apply that in every thought, word, and deed, I guarantee you will see the result in short order, very strongly and undeniably. Many of you have already begun to see this happening, manifesting on a day-to-day basis, and each manifestation strengthens you, gives you the confidence to know that that's the way life can be. We understand, believe me, we understand that this will seem shocking to many of you, that the idea that you have been taught of what you have called for thousands of years a fairy tale imagination is actually the way life really works when you allow it to. That life is magical. That's all it is. It's the magic of the transformation of the idea of yourself into some tangible reflection of experiencing that idea of yourself. That's all it is. Physical reality is made of you, made of your consciousness. You do not live in physical reality. Physical reality lives in you. You just project it outside yourself, apparently, in a type of an illusion that gives you the ability to play with the idea of creation in a way that allows you to appreciate the mechanism itself, that has time delays within it, so that you can actually see that there is a mechanism involved between the thought and the thing. In higher spiritual levels, where there isn't the idea of time and space, the instant you think of something, it manifests instantly. Physical reality is for the purpose of slowing that process down so that you can learn to appreciate the idea of what it is you are creating, so that you can take your time and change your mind and say, well, no, I don't choose this, I prefer that. It gives you the ability to savor the creation, to take your time, to enjoy it, to roll it around in your consciousness before you manifest it. That's one of the benefits of the limitation of physical reality. But of course, what you also perhaps didn't count on is that limitation also can allow you to forget that you yourself decided to create physical reality that way. Now, however, at the end of the cycle of forgetfulness, now that you've played out just about every limiting game you can in your physical reality, you are once again going into the cycle of remembering, oh yes, we created this game to savor creation. And now we know that it has taken us far enough so that we can actually forget that we are the ones creating it. But that was the name of the game. Because in that sense, only by forgetting can the creator really experience this idea. Each and every one of you experience the idea of physical reality as if it really were totally new. For the first time, pristine, for that is what forgetting is for. So that you have an absolute experience without the idea of remembering that you created it, which in some senses would knock the experience down, would lessen it to some degree, would not make it quite as potent. But now you are going into a new cycle where it is not necessary to forget. You now have mastered the idea of creating your reality in a variety of ways so that now you can create it in a different way. You will not completely necessarily as a civilization transcend to non-physical reality yet, but you will now allow your physical reality to become more plastic, more malleable, more flexible, so that you can really see the connection between the creation and yourself, between consciousness and physical reality, so that now you get to see the process going backwards, back toward the idea of your initial creatorhood. This is what is going on your planet now, is the recombining, the integration, the reintegration of all the segregation and separation you have created for thousands of years, so that you once again will remember that you yourself are, each and every one of you, a unique and total aspect of all that is, of creation itself. Does this make sense to you? Does this translate into your language adequately? With this in mind, and in applying this in specific or general ways now, in these upcoming dialogues, we will attempt to explore together a little bit further how this concept can be applied to your daily lives so that you can see the changes that you do prefer. In return now at this time for the gift that you have given to us, our civilization, in experiencing you, I